Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 14th. This week, you start with this Taurus card. It says, Perseverance. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. Awaken your inner bull to give you patience. You also have this Virgo card. It says, Details, details. You need to look at something more closely. What you need to know lies in the details. And as a Pisces, I definitely feel that Pisces can sometimes skip over the details, right? So I would say that it could be one of those weeks where really looking at the details of what you're doing is going to make you more successful. I would also say Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is laser-like focus. So it says that if you're working on something, you really need to make it your focus. And if you do that, then you'll be successful. And damn, look at this reading. Already, we have 3 aces in the star. So this is turning out to be really, really nice. Again, I would stay focused, of course, but I think there's a very good energy here. You have the Nine of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Ace of Wands. There is definitely a Taurus energy going on here. I mean, this Taurus card says Perseverance. The Nine of Wands is the card of perseverance in the tarot, and then the Hierophant is Taurus. So I would say whatever you're working on, definitely don't give up. Maybe something has taken longer than you want it to, or maybe something has just been very slow. Yeah, see, you're about to have a major breakthrough this week here, Pisces. Or you have the Tower and the Judgment card. I consider the Tower and the Judgment card to be the most powerful combination in the tarot, and it's coming up in the area of the good stuff, which is obviously a good thing. But those two together can represent like a major revelation or a major light bulb moment. It could represent you kind of like waking up to an idea that makes you very successful. And so this looks like a good week. I would definitely pay attention. Nine of Wands says don't give up, so definitely whatever you're working on, keep going. I kind of feel that at this time, October for you, Pisces, that you are very close to your goals, but you need to, again, keep pushing with this Nine of Wands energy and just not give up. Nine of Wands is a great card for experimentation as well. So if you are finding yourself having a hard time staying motivated, especially if you're working towards something specific, which we see with the Ace of Swords and the Star, we'll talk about that in a minute, then I would say, experiment or try a different angle of whatever, angle towards whatever you're doing. You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent inside-the-box thinking, and this reading would kind of recommend a little bit more outside-the-box thinking, especially with that Nine of Wands. So I think that, if you are, again, having a hard time and staying motivated, that a little bit of, outside-the-box thinking, a little bit of outside-the-box creativity probably could be very beneficial for you. This could represent blessings coming in for you as well. And again, I would say it's clear to me that the blessing is actually the Tower and the Judgment card, and especially having the Star. The Star can represent an inspiration. The Ace of Wands can represent a sudden inspiration or a sudden insight that you're receiving. And I would pay attention to any insights or revelations that you're having. I kind of feel like this is one of those things where it's almost like when you get the inspiration, I feel like you need to act, right? Because I think when you get the inspiration this week, you're going to be super motivated at that moment. But I feel like if you don't act on the inspirations that you have this week, then they're going to kind of like flutter away, right? And so I feel this is saying like when the insight strikes, make sure that you take action right away, because you're going to be motivated to do it in that moment. And I think that's going to carry you a lot farther than if you just kind of let it float away, like I said, and as I have super ADHD, so I mean it's even worse for me. And if you have ADHD, maybe it's worse for you as well. But I know that if I don't take action right away on the things that pop into my head, then I probably am going to lose them. And so but again, I'm getting that feeling here on the Ace of Wands that there could be some sort of inspiration that you're really going to want to take advantage of. The other thing is we have the Nine of Wands, and he is holding on to one wand on the Nine of Wands. So this kind of gives me the vibes that you could be doing something that you've done before, whenever I have the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Wands in a reading, but you could be doing it in a different way. The Nine of Wands should also give you confidence, because it's saying like, yes, maybe you're doing something that you've done before, and yes, maybe you are a wounded warrior because you've tried a bunch of times to get something to work, whatever this is for you. I'm not sure yet. We're going to find out. And, the Nine of Wands basically says you've learned from all those past experiences. With the Nine of Wands, yes, I think I said this in your October reading, or maybe the last quarter reading that I just did. It might have been that one, but I feel like it's like you are going to have to follow your own guidance. The Queen of Wands, she has to learn as she goes. And, I think what came up for you at the beginning of 2024, this year, quite a bit, was that there's going to be nothing to compare like what you're doing to. So you're really going to have to trust yourself more than anything. You're going to have to move confidently and boldly forward towards your goals at this time. With the Hierophant, you have the Seven of Pentacles. It's like inside the box, like what you're doing right now is getting you a result, right? So this could be in work and business and your love life, whatever it is. The Seven of Pentacles is the result, but, it's just like an okay result. He has been growing the Seven Pentacles, the guy that's normally on this card, for a long time. And he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it for me to keep growing these pentacles? Or is there something different or better that I could be growing? And again, I think you're about to make a change. You have 3 aces. This right here definitely says there's like a new opportunity coming in for you, probably to change your work. And it looks very good because you have the 10 of Pentacles as well. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Magician, which you start here. You go from the Magician to the Magician. I feel like this is saying, ground it in reality. The Magician is pointing to the Tower, and the Tower could represent like some sort of radical change that you're going to have to make to create this new reality. But, the reading itself also tells me that it's going to be worth it. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this changes card, obviously. You also have this card that says process your feelings. I kind of feel like you've been spending a lot of time processing your feelings, probably since the Pisces eclipse that we just had. And so a lot of you have been, processing your feelings about your life and what you want. With 2 aces in this row, that would tell me that you want a new beginning, or you are hoping for a change. And we start with the Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Star. The Ace of Swords is victory, a big success. Usually with the Ace of Swords, we have to kind of cut one thing out of our lives so that we can have something else. And I do feel that for sure. You have the Tower. And, even though the Tower is coming up in the good stuff, it can absolutely say that you are having to accept a new reality. That's the whole point of the Tower. And the Ace of Swords would kind of represent cutting something out to create balance. So I would look at any area of your life that is out of balance and say, how can you bring it into balance? We just had that Libra eclipse on October 2nd, which was all about bringing balance into your life. And so if there are things that pull you out of balance, you might have to draw like stronger boundaries with those things. And it could be anything. It could be habits. It could be people, places, things that you're doing. And I really do get that feeling with this Ace of Swords. But I feel like you're about to have a victory. I also feel like you're about to overcome something. The sword is above the mountains here on the Ace of Swords, and it kind of sometimes can represent overcoming some sort of challenge or difficulty that you've been experiencing. You have the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles can represent an opportunity that has a lot of potential. So there's definitely some sort of opportunity coming in for you. It's attached to your dream because we have the Star here, and the Star is like your North Star. It is your guiding light in life, what you feel like you're working towards. And so whatever this opportunity is, I would take it. Again, my problem, I love the Ace of Wands. It's my favorite card in the tarot because, I look at the Ace of Wands as just that one thing we need sometimes to get motivated. It's like that spark of hope or that spark of inspiration. But the problem with the Ace of Wands is it can be a flash in the pan, right? It can just be a spark. You have to keep putting wood on that fire to get it to grow. And so if you are getting an opportunity, I would do whatever you can to cement it in this reality. Sometimes I think we just have to take the first step, right? We get an idea. Just taking that first step towards the idea can bring it down into this reality. Sometimes we have to take more action than that, but the whole entire reading is definitely encouraging action on your ideas. I also feel like it's like any doubts you're having, I feel, are just not real. It's like maybe you come up with an idea this week or have a sudden insight, and then you start thinking of all the things or all the reasons why it's not going to work. And I feel like the reading is saying it's like these doubts are just, probably like past things that people have said to you that are causing doubts in you. And I feel you need to eliminate those past doubts. Again, you have the Star, which is amazing. The Star is fulfillment. It is enjoyment. It's a card of hope, faith, renewal. So I kind of feel a very hopeful feeling in your life this week, Pisces, especially when we get to the 14th. If you're watching this before the 14th, then, again, you might not feel this yet. But I feel that when we get into the week of the 14th, you're actually going to feel very hopeful and, positive. I also feel like something is is giving you positivity as well. With the Ten of Swords, or sorry, the Ace of Swords, you have the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is fortune after difficulty, happy home, happy family, really good card. I kind of feel, again, just fortune after difficulty is really all I'm getting off this card because the sword is above the mountains. It's like you're feeling happy because you're overcoming an obstacle. I'm not really getting much there. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands could be marriage, and there definitely could be, this could be a new beginning in love, if that's what you're looking for. And you have the Hierophant and the Four of Wands, so this could be a connection that leads to marriage in the future. I'm not saying you're going to get married right now, but this could be some sort of commitment. I would also say that the Four of Wands is freedom, and the Ace of Swords was really saying to me that you need to set yourself free from those things that are holding you back, right? The Ace of Swords is like, laser-like focus, and if there's anything out here that's pulling you away from your focus, it's like that's what you have to remove so that you can stay focused. I think it's saying commit to the idea. With the Star, you have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, like I said, could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you, but the Knight of Cups is also your dream. And so the Knight of Cups, he is normally dreaming, and he's standing in the desert, but there's water flowing in front of him. So, the whole card kind of represents the fact that he thinks that nothing can grow because he's standing in the desert, but if he plants seeds in front of that water, they will grow. So I feel for a lot of you that it doesn't matter like what your circumstances are. If you have a sudden insight this week, I would pay attention to it because it will grow. Next, you have the Snake card. This is coming up in the area of messages from your future self, and it says time to heal. You also have this parrot. It says watch your words. Yes, the words that you use against yourself. This is a major theme for you in 2024, and we still have like 3 months left. So I would say that for the rest of the year, forever, Pisces, that you need to watch the words that you use against yourself and the way that you talk about the things that you're doing. The Snake says time to heal, but you also have this snake right here. On the Magician, the snake is eating its own tail, and the snake is the Ouroboros. It just represents reinvention. The Magician is a card of reinvention. And again, I do feel you're in a time where you are reinventing yourself, or you're almost kind of becoming a new person, but really I feel like it's who you've always been. Pisces, you are, letting your true self kind of shine here, or at least you should be. And this is I think this is going to be good and could be a little bit of a challenge for you as well, because I think that saying the word no is going to be a big theme that comes up here. Like, you're going to need to start saying no to people and people who want your time, your effort, your attention, and you're going to have to focus on yourself, which I don't necessarily think is easy for Pisces, but at the same time, this whole entire reading is talking about focus, and even just moving through the next couple of years, I think it's going to be important that you stay focused and that you don't get derailed, right? You have the Two of Swords. It's like you know what to do. So I feel like you need to stop doubting yourself, really. This is where I was getting the message about doubting yourself, is the Two of Swords. It's like the only she has those swords crossed over her chest, right? She's trying to protect her heart, and she has this blindfold on. The blindfold in the tarot says she needs to trust her intuition. It literally says that you already know what to do in all areas of your life. You're very intuitive. But she is also trying to protect herself or protect something. But really what she needs to do is quiet the noise. In one of my favorite decks that I never use, but in the After Tarot, there are two people that are arguing in front of her. The Two of Swords can sometimes be a card of mediation, but it's also a card of finding a middle ground, right? But sometimes you don't need to find a middle ground. Sometimes what you need to do is listen to yourself and not worry about other people in your life, trying to please both sides, right? And I kind of feel that with the Two of Swords. I think this is more talking about personal issues. I don't really feel it's talking about life in general, although that is part of life. But I don't think this is some sort of issue that you're going to be facing, a decision that you're trying to make is what I'm trying to say. I think this is more about you kind of focusing on your own choices and just making that your focus. You have the Ten of Swords. Something definitely needs to die, is what I would say. I think that there are probably things that are just stinking, rotting corpses in your life. Things that are definitely dead that you are spending time on, that you probably don't need to spend time on. And the Ten of Swords, he is dead, but he needs to get up and realize that he's dead, and he just needs to transform. And, Ten of Swords is a blessing in disguise. So it's once he gets up and moves on from things that are just taking up time or are useless for him now, then he realizes that it's a blessing to move on from those things. With the Magician, you have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is conflict and competition. Again, I really feel that you're coming up with unique ideas with the Tower and the Judgment card that could get you around conflict or competition. So I would be trusting your unique ideas with the Five of Wands. With the Two of Swords, you have the Five of Swords. Again, 2 cards of conflict. This is like inner conflict and just straight up conflict with the Five of Swords. It's like you're afraid of hurting people, or you're afraid of, experiencing a conflict, or you're afraid that if you make a decision that it's going to cause conflict. But I think the only conflict you'll be experiencing is like not sticking up for yourself or agreeing to things that you don't want to agree to, and definitely popping into my head. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Hermit. Again, probably a decision that you've already made that you need to make, right? The Hermit has gone through a dark night of the soul, and he has done some soul searching, and he's climbed to the top of the mountain. He's found his inner light, but now he needs to make a move because he's already made his decision. And I do feel that Pisces, sometimes they like agonize over decisions that they've already made, like a long time ago. And Pisces is notorious for like staying in things that they know aren't working. So I kind of feel the Hermit is saying, you've already made the decision, but you just need to like come down from the mountain. So that's what I feel there. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this scrying card. It says true future on it. You also have this Horus card. It says slow victory on it. It has been a slow victory. I feel like things have taken a long time. I also feel a lot of you, like if you're working towards a goal, wish, or dream, I think that what a lot of Pisces have experienced is kind of seeing other people accomplishing those things much faster than you, and so it feels slow. But what I would say to you, and I've probably said this to you at the beginning of the year as well, is that I think the harder the battle, the sweeter the victory, as they say. And the other thing is it's like, sometimes things come easily to people, but they, because those people didn't have to struggle, they disappear just as quickly. But because you had to struggle, I think that something is going to be a much more long-term victory, which we kind of see with the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is establishing something. It is something that is established. It is building, leaving a legacy, but it has all these parts. All the pentacles form the tree of life. And so it's very well established, whatever it is that you're building. And, I kind of feel like that's what the Ten of Pentacles is saying. It's like saying, like, yeah, sure, maybe something has come slower to you, but because it came slower, it is going to be something that lasts. It's not going to be something that's built on sand, right? It's going to be something that's built on a solid foundation. And, that's what I really feel with the Ten of Pentacles. So that's amazing. You have the Tower. Again, you have the Tower and the Judgment card, but it's coming up in the good stuff. Some of you with the Ten of Swords could be seeing how like a past Tower moment was a blessing in disguise. But really, I kind of feel this is saying, pay attention, because I feel like you're about to have like a brilliant Pisces insight that just comes out of nowhere. And usually that's how Pisces does become successful. Most Pisces, they have like brilliant ideas or brilliant insights, and they become very successful. And we see this a lot in the world. It's like Pisces usually dominates the list of millionaires and billionaires, for example. It kind of goes back and forth between Libra and Pisces every single year. And, I think that it's because, again, Pisces sometimes has like those brilliant intuitive insights that change the world, or, can lead to a lot of success. So I would pay attention to any, light bulb moments, even if you're having a Tower moment. Like the Tower doesn't really have to be a bad thing. It can say that you're scrapping something, which I definitely get that feeling that some of you could be like scrapping a project or scrapping an idea and moving on to something else. But it's like whatever that something else is probably going to be successful much faster. You have the Judgment card. Again, these 2 cards together are very powerful. And, the Judgment card is about waking up to your purpose. It's also about leaving something behind. The coffin here represents their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. So the Judgment card really represents letting go of something from the past and stepping into your new life. Pretty simple reading. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Moon, which is you, showing up in a very strong position. Whenever you show up as yourself, that puts you in a position of power and strength. I also like the Moon in the good stuff because it kind of says that you are leaving a moon period behind and you're stepping into a period of light. With the Tower, you have the Lovers. So if you want love, definitely could be a surprise connection that's coming in for you. What's kind of funny as well is I feel like it could be a sign that you wouldn't really expect. You have like Aquarius here twice, and you also have Virgo and Taurus. You also have fire over here. So it's kind of popping into my head that it might not be like a sign that you expect. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. With the Judgment card, you have the Nine of Wands again. Yes, it's like through not giving up, through sticking with something, or through following, a plan and taking advantage of this new opportunity, you will be much more successful. So I would definitely not give up. I also feel, for some of you, I feel like you're being proven right here. We go Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, Five of Swords, to this Nine of Wands. And it's like sometimes I think a setup like that can say that you've been sticking with something all along. You've had these crazy ideas. And like now you're showing the world that these ideas were right. You have this convention card. Convention is like the enemy of progress right now. So if you are stuck, it could be because you're trying to do things the right way, the conventional way. But sometimes I think Pisces has to, it's like, most people, they live life, they go through a maze. Like life is like a maze, right? Most people go through the maze and they have to make mistakes and kind of like figure it out. But sometimes I think Pisces can just skip to the end and just skip over the maze, right? By coming up with some sort of crazy idea. And I feel like this is saying like, don't be afraid to be unconventional. For sure. You have this exaltation card. Yes, you are blessed this week. This card is a card of being blessed by the universe. So love it. You have this ostentation card. Yeah, this card says you can tell the difference between something that's real or fake. Sometimes I think Pisces wants to be in the fantasy. It's like I can think of so many situations in my life where it's like I stayed in the situation, whatever it was, love, business, or otherwise, where it's like I pretty much knew that it wasn't going to work right away, but I stayed in it anyway because it's like I wanted to embrace the fantasy of the situation. And I feel like that card is saying don't do that, right? You have this generosity card. I kind of feel like the universe is being generous to you this week, so love it. And finally, you have the submission card. This card says set yourself free. It's kind of like the Eight of Swords. This bird is in this cage, but the cage door is open. And it just says you could easily set yourself free from any of these situations that are keeping you stuck. And it will probably make you a lot more successful. So love it, Pisces. This looks very good. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.